Hello and welcome to Rosberrycrafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is September the 18th, 2025, and this is episode 139. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 15 and 13. Welcome to anyone who's new to my channel, and thank you very much for those who are coming back or are still subscribed. I know I took an unexpected summer break and even into fall here, but I'm back. I'm ready to get back into it. I have been doing a lot of crafting. The summer just got away from me, so here we are. We have some finished objects. We have works in progress. I have an event. I've got some next on my needles. I've got some stash, and I have a ton of books. So I have a feeling this is going to be a long one. I might start speaking like really quickly, so hopefully you don't have to slow me down to understand me. I will link everything that I'm talking about, my projects, and I'll have a list of books down below, and everything that I've talked about will be in the description bar down below or wherever it is on your screen, depending on where you're watching. Let's just jump right into it. I'm not wearing any knitwear today because it is again 30 degrees, middle of September. It's still summer here. I don't know what's going on, but there we are. So no knitwear currently being worn today. I was wearing a sweater earlier this morning though, just a fleece, not a knitwear. So it was chilly, so we're getting there, getting closer for sure. My first finished object is some socks. I'm pretty sure I was close to being done these last time. So they're done. There's a heel. There's a heel there. I had them folded in my drawer. That's why they look kind of weird and pancakey. But there we go. Matchy socks. Very nice. I used the even heel pattern for these ones. I think it turned out pretty nice. And that is a pattern by Nikki Knits. I've knit this heel quite a few times. I enjoy it as like as an afterthought heel. It's very good. And the yarn is Lang Yarn's Twin Sock. And the color is 9090187. But anyway, self-striping, different stripes all through. But I mean, obviously this area looks a little funny because I did the heels. But I like it. I like how it turned out. They're comfortable. They're warm. It is a good workhorse yarn. I have worn them. I don't think you can tell. There's no like felting on the bottom. Come on, focus. There's no felting on the bottom or anything, and I've worn them quite a bit. So I took them camping. They were great. Moving on to the next. I think the last time I recorded was sometime in June, and I don't know if I had finished all of the teacher gifts that I decided to do this year, but I did have one all blue market bag that I was still working on, and but that has gone to a teacher as well. So that is not here to show you because I've already gifted it, and I do have a picture. So picture here. It's the same color block market bag by Jen Palmer that I've used throughout this year. And it is in some Bernat Handicrafter cotton in the teal colorway. I can't remember. Anyway, my notes are terrible. Next up, I have a delicious project. This is also finished. And I don't think this was started last time, or maybe it was. This is a cowl that I made for my daughter. This is the Bonjour High by Espace Tricot, and it's out of some Drops Air in the pink sand. So it's like taupey, pinky kind of colors. It is really, really light. It's one of those like blown kind of dealies. So yeah, it's very light. It looks really nice on. I'm not going to put it on because of microphone and stuff, but basically kind of hangs like this. You can like pull it over your shoulders. She's quite thin, so this is going to fit nicely over like a little capelet type thing, or she can have it kind of more bunched up. Anyway, it's getting close to that season, so I will make sure that gets into her rotation. What's next? Oh, next is the big one. Hold on. I gotta take this out and take that out and take that out and take that out. Okay, seriously, this is huge. Oh, it's stuck. It's a bit of a story. My daughter was in the habit of collecting bulky weight and super bulky weight yarns, and then she would just make like a little toy out of one of them. So there was lots of mostly full skeins, but not quite full skeins. This year, as I've mentioned in other previous podcasts, we're going through a bit of a cleanse through the house. We've lived here for almost 20 years. So, no, not 20 years, 18 years. Anyway, a long time. So it was time to do a good house cleanse. We went through every cupboard, every nook, every cranny, every storage area, outside, inside, the whole works. It's all been gone through. And I was just going to donate the bulky yarn to like the school or, a donation group that could use it. But it's such a mishmash, and some of them were just like small balls of leftover bits. I wasn't sure. So I thought instead I would crochet a blanket. And so I did. I crocheted a corner to corner blanket. This is Corner to Corner Blanket by Yarn Inspirations Design Studio. I don't know who actually designed it, but I just picked up a ball of yarn. I think this was the ending end. This was the starting end. No, this is the starting end. So I just picked up a ball of yarn and followed the pattern. Some of it is super bulky, some of it's bulky. And it's a mishmash. It is random colors. I just tried to do like a patterned yarn, and then the next stripe would be like something more plain. So like this is very variegated, whereas this is very plain, and then patterned and plain and ish. Anyway, I think it turned out great. I washed it in the washing machine, and it's quite heavy. It's definitely like a heavy blanket, but I think it would be actually really good as like a pet blanket because it is fully machine washable. And, to have a blanket down on a surface for a dog to lay on, I think it would be great. So it's definitely going to be donated somewhere. I just have to figure out where at this point, but I got rid of, so there was some of it was mine, some of it was hers. Basically anything that I had that was bulky yarn that I didn't have a specific plan for is now in that blanket. And then when I weighed all the yarn, and I forgot to do it right at the beginning, so I weighed it and I figured out how much there was, divided it in half, and it was like, okay, well, when I get to the halfway point, I'll just start decreasing at that point, and then anyway, it didn't quite work out. So I had a couple balls left. So out of that, I made this. Because, I just used the same hook and created this cute little shawl. So this is the Granny Wrap by Anna Boo's House. Anyway, that's what it said on the pattern. So I believe it was a free pattern. I'll link it down below. But yeah, I just used up this was quite a bit of super bulky stuff that I had left, but it fits as just a nice little, wrap it around. It's not too big, so it just kind of something little and cozy you can throw on the back of your chair and just put over your neck when you need it. I'll be donating this. I don't know to who or, where yet, but I think it'll be very useful for somebody. So there is that. So yeah, that is bulky leftovers out of my stash. Yes, I have some work to do to actually get them out of the house, but at least they're knit and crocheted into usable objects. All right, I have two more finished objects. I'm going to reach down and get them. First up is another pair of socks. Oh, I love these so much, you guys. I don't even know if the camera is really picking up the colors of these. So these are, I used Mina's vanilla sock recipe by the Knitting Expat Designs. And I just did my standard toe on these. I did them toe up to try and get a nice fit for me. I like the I like the leg to be a certain length, but I just measure it against the foot, and then I know how tall they should be. The heel that I used is from the Mina's Vanilla Sock, and I do the extra gusset in there. This is the second pair of socks I've done with this, and I quite like the fit of it. I haven't worn these a lot. I just kind of tried them on real quick because I just finished them very recently, so last weekend, in fact. But yeah, and the yarn is Mustache in the Beauty and Her Beast colorway. So just love the colors. Actually, they're very spring colors, but I do love them. And then last but not least of my FOs, I cast this on like a couple weeks ago, and it is already finished, and I'm very excited to wear it. This is called Rainbow Askew by Sarah Shira, and it's meant for mini skeins. I think 9 or 10 mini skeins. I did this with the Fireweed Fiber Co. Advent calendar from 2022. So I made that big cowl shortest day shawl that I turned into a cowl that I made out of this. And this is all of the leftovers, every last inch of it. So it's beautiful. Just like, okay. And then this piece that's like different colors, I added in some extras that I had. One of them was a Fireweed Fiber Co. Random mini skein that I got from somebody else, and the other one, the blue one, was Ancient Arts in their Arctic Midnight colorway. But yeah, like you could have it more pink, you could have it more green, with the way the diagonal works, like it's just so many options. It looks very different than what the pattern does, but yeah, and then it's got this great knit pearl texture on it. That was super, super easy to follow. It was like popcorn. You just gotta pop another one. Just potato chip knitting, whatever. I loved making that. I could definitely see making more of those. And now that Advent is completely used up, and I used up a couple other leftovers. So, you know, stash out. I love it. All right, that is it for finished objects. Next, we're on to works in progress. What are we looking at first here? Oh, we need my basket. Hold on. First up is my Lala cardigan. Now, when I started this cardigan eons ago, I had grandiose plans to wear this to a wedding we went to in July. I'm not even finished any bit of it yet. I haven't finished the body or a sleeve or the collar or anything. So this is my hot mess. So at some point in June, probably about the time that I finished the last podcast, I was like, you know what? There just aren't enough hours in the day where I have dedicated knitting time, where nobody's going to bother me, where I can actually finish this. So I don't remember where I was at with this, but I have a sleeve. The ball of yarn is in it. That's why it's kind of gimpy at the end there, but I have a sleeve. I have not done the cuff yet because I want to make sure that it's actually going to be a good length, but I kind of need to block it in order to do that. So I'm going to do some more of the body, pick up how am I going to do this? What did I say? Yeah, I'm going to do some more of the body, put it on try-it-on tubing, like maybe another couple balls worth, and then do the other sleeve to the same repeats as this sleeve, put it all on try-it-on tubing, block it, put it on, see where I'm at. But honestly, I have really stalled out on this. I think mostly because it's like you know, it's not an easy just round and round knitting or back and forth knitting where I can just go. The pattern's not hard to follow. I just have to follow the pattern. So it's not a TV knitting project, but it is something that I want still. It's something that I think I will wear over and over again to have a nice sweater for the summer to throw on when it gets cool at night. So the pattern is Lala by Anna Johanna. And it's going to be really nice, and it's going to be like just nice and loose and flowy. And yeah, the yarn is elan.com Peruvian Baby Silk. Where's the ball of it? That one doesn't have a tag. There we go. Since we haven't seen it in a while, it's 80% baby alpaca, 20% silk. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the colorway is just 100, but it's cream. It's just your basic cream. No hints of anything in it, just cream. All right, what are we on to next? Hey, where did that one go? Oh goodness. I am a mess, you guys. I brought everything upstairs, but I brought it up all in bags. In my on-the-go project bag, I have a Musselburgh hat. This is, Musselburgh is a pattern by Isolde Teague, and it is a double thick hat that I'll take this end and fold it up into here. This yarn is elan.com Sock It To Me Shades in Mocha Latte, and I'm close to being done here. I weighed the crown when I had finished it, and then I took this last weekend on my son's volleyball trip. I was the driver, but I did get to sit and knit quite a bit at the games. So before I went to the game, I wound off until I had 15 grams left. And then I put this stitch marker in, just looped it around. It's not gonna focus. No. Anyway, I just looped it around the yarn with like a half hitch. So when I get to the green stitch marker, I know it's time to start decreases. And I am almost there, which is very exciting. So, and then I have 2 more balls of this exact same yarn, one in a red and one in a green. And my plan is just to get all of these knit into hats. This is my current old stash project or elder stash project. So my oldest cataloged stash that I have. And I'm trying to work my way through some of my old stuff. This will probably be a donation hat. I met a very lovely knitter, Jean. I don't even know if you watch, but hi, Jean. And I'd contacted her about donating a bunch of old knitwear that I had hanging around. Some stuff had been worn, some of it had never been worn, all in very good condition. And I just emailed her through some website, I don't remember where, and turns out she lives in the same town as me. So we went for coffee. And anyway, and I gave her all the hats so she can send them up north to kids in need. So another one, she's gone down south for the winter, so I will have a whole bunch of hats for her again in the spring so she can donate them where they need to go. Okay, so that's that one. The last one is in my rainbow bag, and I cast on a shawl, and it's just in the first teeny stages. It is a side-to-side shawl. I quite enjoy doing those because when you do like a top-down shawl, you start small and you get bigger, 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 bigger the whole time. Whereas this one, you go bigger and then you go smaller. So it seems to zoom at the end. Anyway, I think this is pretty, very nice. This is the Mass Vita shawl by Jennifer Lassonde, and she hosts the Down Cellar Studio podcast, and she also hosts the Pigskin Party, which I will talk about in events. The yarn is this beautiful yarn. This is from Fireweed Fiber Co. And this is in her violet sock base. I don't think I have the tags anymore, so I can't tell you what it is, but this is the color 29, and I made my Whitmore sweater out of this yarn held with some mohair. So this is all the leftovers. That's the other nice thing about the side-to-side shawl is I know how much total weight I have, so when I get halfway, I can just start decreasing, and I get to use up all of the yarn, which will be great. Okay, so there is that. That is all my works in progress. 3 things. So we'll move on to stash. I have 3 yarns to show you from my Fireweed Fiber Crowe monthly club. This is the Jurassic Park Club. You should have seen all of them by now. If you haven't, well, look away. But July. It's so good. I opened it already because I was just too excited. But this is Mr. DNA. I will put a picture up. Is it focusing? I will put a picture up. It's getting blown out. It's really not that light colored, but like, look at these speckles. Just beautiful. So nice. Okay, so that's July. August. This one is not open. I didn't peek. Getting first looks right now. I didn't peek at her Instagram too. Ooh. Those are my colors right there. Look at that green and purple and blue. Hello. So nice. This is, do you think Hesaurus Rex? I can't remember that quote, but there we are. That is looking real nice. And September. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yes. This one's called Clever Girl. Do you see the browns in there? Come on. Focus. Focus. There. Yeah, looks good. I love it. I love it. Anyway, yeah, Clever Girlie's talking about the T-Rex. So yeah, this browns, greens, kind of mossy greens, light greens, sagey greens. Oh, so nice. So nice. So that's the 3 of those. And I have not had any other purchases come into my house yet. I'm going to leave that vague. Maybe next week you'll see what I mean. All right, events. I did participate in Stash Dash, and I kind of lost steam on where I was at and what I did, and I just, enjoyed myself. I did finish that blanket and stuff, so, I probably made my goal. I can't remember. I'm still tracking month to month, and I will give you those numbers as well in a bit. I guess I usually do that in Stash, don't I? Okay. Well, maybe I'll go get those now. I'm back. Not that it was any time for you. For July, I think I actually purchased it in June, but I didn't put it in there. The cotton yarn, I did buy 1,232 meters of that cotton yarn. In July, I finished the socks, the gray and pink socks, and the blue market bag for 481 meters out. So I am now at yarn in is 7,376 and yarn out is 13,239. So that is a 5,863 difference to the out. So yay! For August, I had no yarn in, and the only thing I finished technically in August was Taylor's Cowl for 381 meters out. So now I'm at my yarn out difference is 6,244. So yeah, I guess I didn't finish the blanket until September, so that doesn't count for Stash Dash. There you go. And so we'll go back to events because I'm just jumping all over the place and just going with it today because I just need to get all of this out. The other event that I am participating in is the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party for 2025-26. So this is the knit along, craft along that goes along through the NFL football season, which started early September. It's not too late to join. You just need to go through the Google form to register. You'll be put on a team. The teams don't mean anything other than it's a smaller place to have conversations and kind of meet with some of the people that are on your team versus like everybody that's in the whole thing. But yeah, so that's your team. They do add up points by team and by conference and all that kind of stuff. But really, your entries into the prizes at the end are based on your own things, nobody else's. Okay. And then there are extra events along the way that are also football themed. You do not need to know anything about football, watch football, or have anything to do with football. It just runs in the same time frame, and some of the events around it are themed that way. But you don't need to know anything about it in order to participate. There are so many answers and information over on the Downseller Studio website or in the Ravelry group. Super fun. It goes to February something. And so yeah, I've got quite a few things now. That the granny shawl is going to count towards that, and the cowl that I made for myself, the blue one, is going to count towards that. My Beauty and Beast socks are not, because I started them before. But yeah, I'm trying to finish off a few of the other projects and then get all my new ones going. And that includes my next on my needles. And I have, where did it go? I have swatches. Okay, so I did, to begin with, I did my typical little swatch. And this is not the color I'm using, but it is the same yarn, so I'm going with it. This is the first swatch that I did, and this was on a 4mm needle, fingering held single. And then, and it's still wet, so it's not going to look right, but this is the second swatch that I did, a little bit bigger, and this was on a 3.75 and this was on a 3.5. So I'm waiting for that to dry still. This is all good. It's going to give me information on what I need for the project that I am planning, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. And I am going, where do you want to look at the yarn first? Let's talk about the pattern first. My current plan, until I cast it on, it's not an actual thing, is to knit the Stumble dress. And I don't remember who this is by, but I will put something about them on the screen and it will be linked down below. This is like a top skirt pattern that can be done separately or together. And so of course my gauge is going to be very important. The top has a tighter gauge than the skirt. Of course, you want the skirt to be nice and flowy and airy. And I am planning on making it out of, sorry, I wound them all up into cakes here. This is my 2023 Advent from Fireweed Fiber Co. I had to think about that, but yeah, these are 2023. And this is her Sweet Pea sock base, and which is like, it's good for everything. I think it'll be good for a dress because it will hold its shape a little bit better with like the weight of a dress. And I'm going to do them like this. So this is going to be the color. No, this is going to be the color. Oh my gosh, what have I done? This is going to be the color that is at my neck, and then this green is going to be at the bottom. So it's going to go from these lights through the darks, and then the dark browns through the blues, through the greens. That is the plan. And then all of the cuffs and like the neck and the arm, it's got short sleeves, so that a little bit of arm band, and then whatever is left will be at the very bottom. And it's super variegated, but it will look great, I think, as a bottom kind of hem band of the dress. I don't know. It's going to be a bit of a mishmash, but I'm very excited about it. So there's that. So yeah, I just took some of my leftovers from sock projects and swatched with those because it is the same. It's the sweet pea sock. And so that will work for that. So that is kind of next on my needles. Yeah, and then I'll have some more hats and stuff going on. But yes, that is next on my needles. The Lala cardigan might wait for a while. It's been pretty busy around here, so I'm just trying to, you know, keep everything. My head is exploding with all the information as we start the new year and all the new things, and you know, the kids are involved in so many activities, and keeping everything straight's been a little overwhelming, but The stumble dress is nice because it's mostly just stockinette. Obviously there's, you know, some shaping and different things going on, but it's going to be a lot of just stockinette, whereas the Lala cardigan is lace. It needs concentration. Okay, I'm going to bring my computer over because we're moving on to books, and I have a lot. So I'm going to be looking at my computer because otherwise I won't give you an accurate list. So I have finished the Kinsey Millhone series. So in the summer, I read P is for Peril, Q is for Quarry, R is for Ricochet, S is for Silence, T is for Trespass, U is for Undertow, V is for Vengeance, W is for Wasted, X and Y is for Yesterday. These are all by Sue Grafton. They follow a detective in the like 80s, 90s kind of time frame, I think. I don't know if it actually gets into the 90s. Anyway, it's a certain time of her life, and she lives in California, and but she goes to other places of the country sometimes, not too far away, and then yeah, just solving crimes and some bits about her personal life and stuff too. If you're looking for not too heavy detective strong female character, she's your girl. Anyway, I quite enjoyed them. I've been looking forward to reading them for a long, long time, and now I have finished all of them. So that feels like a big accomplishment. Next series that I have finished, which is also a very big accomplishment, is the Wheel of Time series. So this is 14 books, and they are not small books. This is by Robert Jordan. Unfortunately, he passed away before he could finish the series. So based off of his notes, Brandon Sanderson wrote the last few of them. I think four. So I finished Towers of Midnight and A Memory of Light. Those are the last two. I feel like these books there's such an epic story that there's no way that you could wrap it up into a close. I do feel like the ending both dragged on and didn't give me enough information. So I did not like the last book. I feel like the ending itself was satisfying, but there was a lot of like missing information about like, okay, they had to get from here to here, and you know, they had to accomplish this thing, and you know, we kind of saw how some of the people accomplished it, but like the actual ending of it, there was just like a chunk where it's like, and now it's done, we completed our task. And I was like, yeah, but like, because it was starting to get to the end of the book, there's like 2 hours left, and I'm like, there's so much more, there's so many questions that I have still. There's no way they can wrap up all of these things in 2 hours. Anyway, because I listened to the audiobooks of both of those. Anywho, it's finished now. That is it. The other series that I finished, something States, I don't remember the series name, but I did read Bonds, Cold Flame, Runaway, those three, by Susan Copperfield, and I'm not gonna read any more in that series. I'm kind of done with it. They were okay. They weren't great. They're good fluff, but I'm kind of over the characters. Basically, a very similar thing is happening in each book, just to different characters in the same world. So I'm kind of over it. Anyway, I mean, there's different things about each book. They're not exactly the same, but a lot of the same characters keep cropping up, and there's just, yeah, and I'm done with reading it. And then I did read a couple of historical fictions that I like to pepper in every once in a while, just as like a little quick, fun palate cleanser. Historical romance, is that what I said? Yeah. Chasing the Bride by Erica Ridley and Undressing the Duke by Erica Ridley. So those are done as well. And one of my favorite authors had a book come out earlier this year, the second one in a duology, and it's called A Curse Carved in Bone, and this is by Danielle L. Jensen. I don't know if you can see it on the shelf. I don't know where it is. Oh, yeah, they're like, they're at this end, so you can't see them. But anyway, this is the second book in, the first one is A Fate Inked in Blood, and I read that last year. These are like Viking-ish kind of stories. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I would definitely read this series again. So I'm not going to spoil or anything, but it's very good. And it's just it's 1-2 books. Nice. You know, the story is all wrapped up and everything. So that's good. And I reread The Bridge Kingdom and its second book, The Traitor Queen. These are also by Danielle L. Jensen. This is a completely different series of hers. This is a 6-part series, but each pair of books, so the book 1 and 2, look at one couple, one kind of storyline, and then 3 and 4 look at one storyline, and 5 and 6, which is just coming out this year, 6 is just coming out, look at a different storyline. But they're all interconnected. They're all in the same world. The same conflict is happening and stuff like that. So I am excited to keep reading those. I own all of those in paperback, and I have the audio, I think, because we're Audible members. So, but the 6th one comes out on Audible, and then 6 months later the book comes out. So I'll definitely buy the book because I like to complete the set, but I'll have read it before then because Audible. So, and then I'm currently in the, what's it called? Dragon something series. And I've read Fire Song, Firestorm, Fire Magic, and Fire Marked. Oh, Firestorm is on there twice. Let me take that off. So I've read those books just more recently, and I think I'm finishing I have the last book now. Those are on my Kobo Plus, so they're kind of like my in-between library books because it's always there for me. So I get kind of mixed up sometimes. But they're okay. Again, they're getting a little repetitive, so we'll see if I actually finish those ones or not. But that is the books. The Sue Grafton ones, that was a lot, in the Wheel of Time. That was a lot of my reading this summer. And the Curse Carved in Bone, I read the physical hardback book, which I don't often actually, even though we have all these beautiful books, I don't often actually read a physical book. I read on my Kobo or I listen to an audiobook. So it was a nice summer treat for me to like sit down, because then I can't knit. If I have my Kobo, I put it up on my pillow and I can just flip pages and still knit. Or if I'm listening to an audiobook, obviously I can still knit. But then when I read a physical book, I gotta hold it. But then I really dive into it, right? I'm connected with it. So it is nice to do that every once in a while. Okay, I think that's probably enough for today. There's a million other things that happened over the summer that I just cannot remember. We had a very busy summer, but no big trip this year. And but we were busy. People visiting, going to do small camping trips and other things. So we had a great time. And I am looking forward to the routine setting in, as I feel like the first few weeks of September, you're still kind of figuring it out. And like my son plays on a volleyball team and everything's kind of like, we're just figuring out, okay, when's game night? When are practices and stuff? So routine will be good. And that will be good for the podcast because then I will be able to be here on a regular basis. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling. See you guys again next week. Bye.